What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes. I am so thoroughly exhausted at the moment. Like, I have not done physical activity probably in the last year. So, your boy doing even the most moderate of prison style workouts has me feeling like I am going to die. Straight up. I think I talked about the market a little bit yesterday, but I feel like it is necessary to go over it again. Mainly because I feel like I keep seeing people talk about how there's been a big market crash, or talking about the market in like some capacity, which would make it seem that like it crashed, and it absolutely did not. So first things first, if you haven't done any of the skill challenges and stuff, absolutely do that. I mean, it's on pro difficulty to 21. You get a free Kevin Durant T-Mac endgame pack, which probably won't get you anything, but it is what it is. You get another one for winning these games. I mean, I'm glad they're at least giving promo packs in here. I would like them to still give locker codes, but it would appear that the locker codes have gone the way of the dinosaur or the legal salvia, and just they're gone. Like, they're never coming back. I wouldn't be shocked at all to see next year just no locker codes. The only locker codes we get next year, in my prediction anyhow, are going to be the limited time locker codes on special events. I swear to God. I am dead serious. I think that's what happens. So the reality of the situation is, which one of these little guys in here should you pick up? Should you pick up any of these cards, period? And if so, which ones should you pick up? Now, the pack odds are pretty terrible. They're pretty horrendous. I've been over it before. I hate them. I've opened like an absurd amount of these packs for seemingly no reason. JB Bakerstaff, it means good things are coming. So, maybe we hold off on casting judgment at the moment. But I've opened a pretty ridiculous amount of these packs, and it's starting to lend credence to the theory that no matter how many packs you open, sometimes 2K predetermines that you're not going to pull anything, and then other times they determine that you might, depending on like either how much you spend or like a variety of other factors. I'm just convinced that this is a thing. Honestly, I really can't say one way or the other that this isn't real. Like, I've already pulled an endgame T-Mac. I'm not pulling anything. So I'm just doing this for educational purposes, really, at this point. Now, a bunch of different versions came out. I mean, it really depends what you're looking for. Like, truly, it really does. It's not really something that I can say, yes, for sure, this one version is better than the other ones. Come on. Like, no, I can't. It's like, the only differences are, like, positions. And in the case of the endgame versions, like a jump shot change, that I personally, with certain jump shots, don't even think it really matters all that much. Like Trey Burke base on T-Mac, for instance, I really don't think it's like that much of a downgrade to run T-Mac. The biggest thing that they're selling you on is the Kyrie behind the back, which kind of sucks. And I've said that a bunch of times, and I stand firm on it, that it's not really good. This Kevin Durant is fine. Contrary to popular belief, for some reason, I don't know why. A lot of 2K people, it's not like they say that Kevin Durant can't play the small forward position effectively, but they like suggest and scoff at the mention that you could play him at that position when other positions are available, which is dumb. Kevin Durant plays just fine at the small forward position. This is literally, this card is invincible Kevin Durant. Like, there is no difference whatsoever between this Kevin Durant and the invincible versions of him, aside from positioning. Other than that, they're the exact same. I mean, yes, he only has a 92 free throw, I know, so detrimental, and only a 90 standing dunk. 86 pass IQ. Oh, God, he's so bad. You shouldn't pick him up at that point. There's no difference. There's really no difference. I mean, at this stage, like, I stopped doing tier lists simply because there's no point. Like, every card that's released is B tier minimum, at least. It's all personal preference. This Kevin Durant is ridiculous. I'm running him as my small forward at the moment, just because I need a new small forward in the starting lineup anyway, so might as well run Durantula. Like, who cares? It was either going to be him or I was running Granger, but Granger will probably come off the bench at this point. This Kevin Durant is phenomenal for 30K, by the way. Durant release is hard for me to time personally, just because it's not a release that I used all that much, just being that Durant's been way too expensive all year. Then we got Tis the Season Durant, and he's also really good. Obviously, he plays shooting guard, so people go nuclear trying to defend this card and get all hyped on it, which I understand fully. He's a 6'9", 240 shooting guard. But I mean, if you're going to play him at small forward anyway, which I've seen a lot of people do, just literally grab the NBA 75 version. There's no difference. Like 5 Hoff badges, and honestly, they're not even that crazy anyway, so it's not really the worst thing in the world. Truly. But at the same time, just grab the other one. If you're going to play him at shooting guard, grab this one. They're both like 30K or under, so, whatever. The only Kevin Durant I would say to avoid is probably the My Team Anniversary one. He's not even that bad, honestly. Like, he's super solid. Like, a month ago, this card is over 100K. You know what I mean? Like, well over 100K. And for 10K, he's very good for that price. Like, 10K, he's fine. He does have a lot of gold badges, but I mean, I still use Danny Granger. Danny Granger has like 30 plus gold badges. Like, I don't care. I still run him. He's still my boy, dude. None of the gold badges he has are all that important, really, depending on how you use them. So you might as well just stick with whatever Kevin Durant tickles your fancy, dude. It really doesn't matter. Or whatever your budget includes. Then we got T-Mac. And this T-Mac is just the same as the other ones, just minus 20 or so Hoffs. And he has all the important ones anyway, so you could run this one for 10K. It really doesn't matter. He's going to be phenomenal regardless. I still think it's more beneficial and behooves you a little bit more to maybe run someone like a Benedict Mathurin, who's about a fraction of the cost anyway. But, it is what it is. And then we got Supernova T-Mac. Supernova T-Mac is just Invincible T-Mac that costs a ridiculous margin less. Like, Invincible T-Mac's still over 100K, most of the time sitting around 200K. This Tracy McGrady right here literally will run you like 29K, 30 at the absolute most. It really does not matter. Just go grab this T-Mac. Just literally go grab this T-Mac. It doesn't matter. If you're like, man, I really want the Invincible T-Mac, no, fuck that. Like, don't even grab the Invincible T-Mac. Just pay 30K for this one right here. They're the exact same card. There is no difference between the two at all. I'm literally looking at them side by side right now. I promise there is no difference. Do not spend the 150K markup for no reason. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. This one's way more cost efficient in the same fucking card. Truly. Doesn't matter. There's another one too. I think it's a Gamma T-Mac, right? Yeah, Gamma T-Mac's not worth it. I don't really like T-Mac at the small forward, and honestly, it's like the same price as the other one, so it doesn't really matter. Like, it really, truly doesn't matter. It's fine. Then we got the endgame versions, and look, I'm a Tracy McGrady stan, so I'm really hyped up on this card, but at the same time, like, it's not really worth it. Like, I personally prefer Trey Burke base over base 3. I really do. Like, I do. And if his dribble sticks were a little bit better, then I would totally just use the Invincible Rockets T-Mac. I would. I would literally use that one because it's like a 700K savings. At this point, the game has 3 weeks in the lifespan. I really don't care about my MT. I really don't. Like, if this was, a month ago, yeah, I would have slung this T-Mac for sure and used a more budget-appropriate T-Mac, 100%. Which I should have done with the Invincible one prior to this, like I was telling you guys to do every 5 seconds, but, it's fine. None of these cards matter. I'm sorry, the endgame cards do not excite me in any meaningful capacity. I truly do not care. Like, I don't. I really don't. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't care. They're all the same card. The big men, I think, are the only ones that are, like, a real noticeable difference. The reason I say that is because they drop the weight on them, so they can do, like, dribble moves that they weren't able to do before, which I think is, like, not important, but cool, whatever. It makes it seem a little bit more worth it because Yao Ming can do escapes and things that he normally could not do. Anything behind the back, they're not able to do if they're over a certain weight, and I think it's 250, I believe. So, yeah, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. I kind of want Yao Ming, but I don't care. Like, I don't care. The Invincible cards are just fine. They really are. Like, this Invincible Tracy McGrady on Next Gen is just fine. Literally just fine. Like, you could get away with running this card, and I say you could get away in, like, a facetious way, Like, people say that, you can get away with running Invincible T-Mac. I can get away with running Invincible T-Mac. I can get away with running an all 99 card. I can? Good. Thank you. Thank you for your expert analysis, YouTuber, man. I appreciate that. Sweet. Okay, I didn't know that Invincible card would allow me to get away and win games. It's great. Thank you. Thank you for that. Really? Though, if you're going to play T-Mac at the shooting guard, just grab the Supernova one. Just, like, truly doesn't mean anything. Then Invincible T-Mac, which I still have inexplicably. Like, he's really expensive for obvious reasons, considering he is not much better, if better at all, than the Supernova one. And a lot more people have him due to the fact that he's been in like 18 pack releases, including super packs. So, it is what it is. Then we got the Season 8 guys. I didn't really talk about them too much, but I will talk about them because they're cool. Tony Parker is actually a legitimately fun card to run. Is he good? No, not necessarily. If you're a Spurs fan, maybe you're a fan of French basketball, maybe you're a fan of Tony Parker in general, in his philandering ways, sure, then go pick up Tony Parker. Tony Parker release is basically base 98, just like a smidge worse. It's like a smidge slower, but it's essentially base 98. The timing's basically the same. And I've seen people dispute that, but I mean, that's pretty much been the same going back to like 2K19, 2K20. Either way, Tony Parker's cool. Ralph Sampson's a G. I don't know what it is, but I think it's his will upper, I think is what people were pointing out to me yesterday, but his jump shot is atrocious. I fucking hate it. I don't know what it is. It's just the jump shot forward, dude, with that upper is heinous. It's hard to look at, it's hard to time, but at the same time, for 25K, unless you have a super badged out Mark Williams, I don't know if you can do much better in regards to center for that price. I really don't. Mark Williams is good. If you can get Hakeem's good for sure. Yeah, Signature Yao is good too. There's a lot of good big centers, but I think Ralph Sampson is overall the best one if you can time his jump shot properly. Terrence Ross, dude. Okay, easily one of the more slept on cards in this entire game right now. Terrence Ross is like 8K, and he's a phenomenal budget point guard or shooting guard. Like, his jump shot's not the greatest off the dribble, the base 70, but it's usable for sure. 6'7", he booms over everybody, dude. They made his dunk animations so ridiculous. Like, his contact dunk animations are phenomenal. I wish I could see that stuff because I have no idea what it actually means, like what the actual animations are in general, but Terrence Ross goes so hard. This card is so much fun to play around with. Like, I'm dead serious. He's almost made my actual lineup a few times because I've had that much fun with him. And I don't remember if I made a market video talking about JR and Taco, so I'll just run through them real quick. Yeah, I mean, JR and Taco are fine. Like, I don't know what you want from me. Glitch Taco's really expensive for a card at this stage. I don't think Glitch Taco is necessarily worth it when you can get Ralph Sampson for 25K. I'm sorry. I just really don't think it's worth paying 150K for a card. Taco's jump shot is better, I will say that, and he's got a bigger player build, but Ralph Sampson's like 1.5 inches shorter than him. It really doesn't mean anything. Like, you can get Ralph Sampson and Signature Yao Ming for half the price of Glitch Taco. So I think that's actually a better idea than just grabbing Glitch Taco, period. Like, I really do. And Dunktober JR is like so cheap, and he is so much fun to use. Like, he's so much fun to use, dude. This card is sick. Now, I loved Oscar Robertson all year, so I think I'm biased on the jump shot. I stand firm on that. I'm probably slightly biased because I used the jump shot all fucking year long. Speaking of which, the audacity of 2K to not give us an invincible Oscar Robertson. Sirs, we haven't got Big O, we haven't got Bill Russell, we haven't gotten Havlicek, we haven't gotten, there's more stars that I can't think of at the moment, like, perennial stars. Dolph Shays, we haven't got, which, I mean, he's just kind of popped up prevalency-wise recently. As annoying as it is to say, Karl Malone. Like, none of these guys have gotten invincible cards or even really updated cards at all in the last 2 months, but we're getting 6 versions of Taco Fall. And invincible, Mark Eaton has a fucking invincible, dude. Let me get invincible Hasheem Thabeet. I'm off track here. JR is really, really fun. For 35K, he is a great shooting guard or point guard, whatever you want to run him at. Honestly, he's fine. I think the Origin one is not that much worse, and I think a little bit cheaper. Yeah, way cheaper. And I mean, he's got 10 less Hoffs, I believe. Yeah. Is there a 55 Hoff one? I don't remember. Let me check, because I truly don't remember if there's a 55 Hoff one. No, they just go straight from 60 to 50 on that one. Taco, every single one of these Taco cards are expensive. Don't get bought into the out of position ones. I promise they're just not that good. I haven't run into one of these cards yet. That should tell you a lot. Straight up. Now, we went over this yesterday, but a lot of the token lock-in cards are expensive at the moment. I think Brandon Jennings was super expensive. Yeah, you can get 38,000 for Brandon Jennings right now because people are using all their MT to lock in for tokens. I think they know that an endgame card is going to hit the token market next season, so a lot of people are trying to lock in tokens. JaVale McGee is 24K. I think even Duckworth was like kind of expensive. My boy Kevin Duckworth is 10K. Come on, man. Anything under a pink diamond, anything diamond or below, that's in a set that locks in for tokens is going for a lot more than you would expect. Penny's 6K. I think Evan Mobley's like 6 or 7. Yeah, whatever. I think Kukoc was the expensive one in this set. Yeah, Kukoc doesn't even have a sell. A lot of people still use him. Earl Boykins, I think, was even like 10K. Yeah, Earl Boykins. Fucking Earl Boykins that plays center is 14,000 MT. Sabonis is actually one of the cheaper cards in the set now, which is hysterical considering he was the most expensive. Bracket Buster guys, I think, are kind of expensive at this moment. Doug McDermott's not. Someone is, though. There's somebody who's expensive in this set. Not Joakim. Is it Evan Turner? Someone has to be. Is it locking for tokens? Yeah, it locks in for 300 tokens. Yeah. I think, oh, well, that's probably why. Yeah, because Kareem, Steph, and Tim Duncan are still here. Which you can lock this set in for 300 tokens for probably one of the cheaper ones. Power Within's pretty cheap, too. No one really cares about these cards at all. The All-Star one is pretty cheap, too. Like, I don't think anyone's pining over Zach LaVine and, like, T-Mac and Melo. Like, you can lock that set in for relatively cheap also. The Hunt for Glory ones are pretty expensive at this moment. I think Wang, yeah, there's like one Wang. Cold Blood, I think Page is like 100K almost. Yeah, Page is like 50 at the absolute lowest. Havlicek's really expensive. If you have any of these older cards, it's worth checking in on them. It's also worth checking in to go look. Like, if you see the OJ Mayo filter out here, I hate using the word filter. It just slips out sometimes, and I feel gross. I feel gross saying it. I really do. OJ Mayo is kind of a bad example. There's not many. So let's say Stromile Swift, right? There's like 5 up here. 4,800, 4,700. You see one for like $2,000. Just pick it up and sell it. I've done that on accident like 5 times over the course of the last 24 hours, and I've sold every single one of them. Like, I forgot what I picked up yesterday. Oh, I went to the Beast set. I was looking at the Beast set, and Taco and Mirasan are ridiculously expensive. I picked up a Taco for 1,000 MT, and I sold it for 14K yesterday. Nice little come up, and I wasn't even trying. Mirasan is like 30,000 fucking MT for some reason. So, you know, maybe take a look. Maybe take a look, see if you have any of these guys. You know, it might be worth it for sure. Any of the Ruby guys are going to be expensive. Shout out to my boy Bob Sura. I sold my Pink Diamond Bob Sura, and I feel like that was a mistake. Like, I didn't mean to. That's the fucked up part. Like, I didn't mean to sell Pink Diamond Bob Sura. It hurts my soul. Anyways, man, it's pretty wild. I don't know if there's going to be a Season 9. I think there is. So my prediction for a Season 9 is just that they're going to do what they did last year. Because last year, I believe, for Season 9 was just a bunch of cards that we've already seen. Like, limited was, I forgot what the actual reward was, but it was like the last couple, I think it was an option pack for the last couple of like unlimited rewards. And then level 40 was like Invincible Kevin Durant. So it was a card that was like a, you know, an auctionable card. So it wouldn't shock me to see like, you know, Durant or somebody as a level 40. It'll be like a card that's a bunch of MT right now, and then, you know, no one cares about at that point. Like the triple threat, all those were old cards. Like, they used to cycle them out, and it is what it is. It's cool. I mean, so be it. It's fine. They're probably going to do something like that. So you're going to see a lot of the cards that are really expensive right now, particularly Invincible and Endgame cards, in reward card form is what you're going to see. And they're probably going to do ones that aren't quite as, you know, they're going to do ones they can't milk for super pack revenue. You know, like JR, Scotty Barnes is one that I fully expect to see. Who else? There's got to be another guy. Carmelo Anthony, probably Magic, honestly. Magic's Heat. So it was, Dirk was limited. Okay, yeah, I knew it was somebody like that. Like, yeah, Dirk was limited because I think Moses was the season, or not? Yeah, the season before, I believe. So we're going to see a bunch of like random cards, like a bunch of random Invincibles and Endgames and stuff as rewards to kind of wrap it up. That way 2K can focus on 2K23 and they don't have to actually do anything the entire time. That's what they're going to do. For sure. Bummer. Huge bummer. It's going to be sad.